your watch, APAC premiere.
Reaper, May, Roadhog. We talked about all of those heroes and the potential to see them here, and I think for the most part, Jason, you're spot on. I can see one there for Lunatic, and D is going to be playing the Reaper in this case.
XPG is going to be playing the May actually for the team. So Yumu, so because they're running, I'll also say because they're running 3 tanks and 3 supports, they're going to have Yumu on Ana, but typically he only runs Ana when they do the 3-3 comp. Yeah. So he's actually switching things up quite a bit here, showing Vici has adapted the time off they have had, just like Energy in the available time they've been able to have since Group A. But Eska on the May himself, able to force them back again, trying to use his walls to his advantage, and so far, no one's really gone down, but you can see the presence of Vici's putting on Dia, trying to keep him alive, gets boosted up with a wall, and Eska tries to pluck him out of the sky.
Yeah, it actually falls down there. Litasia finds him in the end now as Lunatic High got to collapse on the side of Vici, coming around the side of the statue to find them here. Now, ice shards are being thrown out by Eska here, and Zim going very, very low. This is Lunatic High playing an aggressive defense. It's paying off well, and it all started from back when they caught TankQ out in the corner and took them incredibly low. They snuck a sleep dart through the shield on towards Dia, and the rest is history.
And a good use out of Toby with the speed boost as well, just to make sure they close out those final kills, and Eska again just trying to separate the entire team. Vici, they're going to have to go into the cinema to bypass the situation and use their own May wall to actually counter any sort of re-attack or any attack coming out of Lunatic High.
Now, Yuumi doesn't have his nano boost yet, probably will have it soon, but now with it taking, 20% longer to charge up, we actually see situations where in the first fight, both teams or one of the teams don't have it, but that's already started anyway. The Graviton Surge comes in here. A comfortable fight for Lunatic High. Picking off Zim and Eagle right at the start, they're able to completely clean house, and Litasia gets 3 kills.
Yeah, speaking of the Ana ult percent change, remember we are on the newest patch as well, so that changes to Junkrat also come into play, Ana in there, and we're going to see if maybe the teams can use that to switch things up. I don't know, we haven't really seen too much of an effect of the 20% change on Ana necessarily because, well, neither of the Anas actually used the nano boost in that fight. Another Maywall going to be coming in to actually separate them, but this time Lunatic High not going for the fight after that.
Playing through slowly here. Dia very low, needs to be careful, but now wants to try and charge in. Sound barriers for both teams, and a blizzard dropped on the ground. Dia has to be very, very quick. He just had enough time to get the damage in towards Litasia before he had to back away with that invulnerability frame I talked about earlier on. Now, he's going to be looking here for the tank, and he manages to get Dean pretty comfortably here, but not after Dean already gets 2 kills. Eska comfortably just lobs an ice spike in the direction of Dia to pick him up, and Lunatic High, despite losing Dean and Litasia at the start of the fight, recover well.
And Dean actually got 2 kills onto the mix before he did fall too, so making sure that his death was worth it. But this time, this allows Vici to push up a little bit more aggressive because Lunatic High have to wait for the reinforcements to come back in. I don't really see Lunatic High forcing a fight here direct at the bat, so they have to concede some ground. They're going to have to back away, and Dia, saving the Death Blossom from the last fight, is looking for a good opportunity. But the Graviton Surge comes in yet again here. Miro has it up for a second time this game, and Lutasia comes in to pick up a kill. So does Dean. Finally, Zim's able to respawn, but do they really have to back up to pick this one up?
Looks unlikely. Dia's going to be cut down in just a moment here as well. It's even Toby who gets the last bit of damage away. Zim also forced him. Remember what I said about Toby just killing people on his own? Well, I mean, he has a team with him this time, but we know he can do it on his own 2 feet as well. The ice wall coming up there was interesting. Lunatic High used it in the middle of a Graviton Surge. It did cut off line of sight from them to damage the back line of Vici Gaming, but also it works the other way. Vici weren't able to maybe pick anyone off as Lunatic High were converging on the Graviton's team. And now, there's 45 seconds left here for Vici to make some progress, and there's an Earth Shatter available for Lunatic High.
This is the 3rd fight, though, that Dia has been unable to use the Death Blossom. He needs to get it off here, but the problem is, I don't think Lunatic High are really sticking up, or really grouping up to allow this to happen, and Zim doesn't even have a Graviton Surge to pull them together. But they're going to have the nano boost, they're going to have the speed out of Eagle, and he's going right in towards the back.
And Dia's in the back line, hasn't been detected as of yet, but the blizzard comes out, and the Earth Shatter. Dia completely shut down, not only in this game, but in that last fight as well. He finds Litasia at the very least, and XPG was able to find Toby over that fight. Dean will be caught out, there'll be too many people shooting from 2 different angles, and now Miro having to back away. Had a sliver of help before Zim finds him now. Then it should be Vici to take control, but they've lost a lot of time already here.
I want to say Dia actually, the charge out of Dean missed Dia and knocked him onto the cinema. Because that's the only way you can really get knocked to that position without like a Junkrat.
Can't boop someone that.
Yeah, so that actually could have been a big mistake. If they were to kill him off the bat, he would have gotten those 2-3 kills in that fight, and potentially Lunatic High would have been able to hold on. But a good job by Vici to adapt and to be able to make that one kind of come back, considering they had no time left to work with for the last fight after.
Just as I said that Dia wasn't having an impact, he manages to get something done that last fight there. But still, very quiet first few minutes for him. I mean, a lot of it was him not being able to actually get to the back line and not being facilitated, but now Litasian's going to have to give up this ground. 2 players from Vici showing now. As much as Litajin would have loved to sort of flank around, you know, maybe get some damage at the back line, doesn't even need an Nano boost here. This guy is insistent. He will not be moved. And again, he sets back up. Graviton comes in. He'll look for the back line while the sound barrier comes down. So Eagle still gets the sound barrier out before he potentially drops down. And now Dia is still dealing with the front and center threats, but he's knocked down. Dean picks him up there, and now the Blitz are going to come over the fight here. Lunatic High looking a bit stronger now to take this one through. And Litajin just plugging away with the Hellfire shotguns. Doesn't get the kill, but gets a heck of a lot of ult charge, and he'll be ready to roll in the next fight.
That Earthshatter Dean caught, I think, 4 or 5 people, knocked them all down, considering they didn't really have that many ultimates to work with, and they got caught with a good counter sound barrier out of Eagle. It just wasn't enough, and Vici just weren't able to hold on to that one. I was really surprised to see Litajin not pick up anyone in towards the back line, but again, Eagle. Sound barrier was able to keep them all together, and Dia, don't tell me Litajin's going to be able to pick up the kill now. His teammates will be there to help him out, but still, I think they're getting in the mind of him. Like, these sleep darts coming through, the Earth Shatters, everything being used to shut this man down only him, basically. It's got to be frustrating.
Well, I mean, yeah, and Dia's been shut down, not always because Lunatic are focusing him out. I'll talk about it in a sec. Litajin going to the backline now does get the Reaper Copter away, but that's being reciprocated by Dia inside Lunatic High's backline. Both of them coming out on top. Dia's the last man left on his team. Litajin and co definitely doing a little bit of a better job. It was a 4 for 5 trade, then Dia's just got to back away here.
Yeah, picking up the souls, Litajin. Actually, I was really curious why Dia attacked him at such long range, so just get up right in his face, pop the headshot directly onto him. He might have been able to pick up the kill. But nonetheless, the payload's still moving. 30 seconds left to go here. So Lunatic High, if you win one more fight, you basically shut down Vici Gaming from finishing this map. All they have, yeah, that's all they have though. And Litajin's not even close to picking up his Death Blossom again. Neither is Ryuje Hong on the Ana.
Dean with the shield front and center, forcing Dia back. He gets moved out of the action there by Eagle. And it was Litajin now falling on the high ground. This is good for Vici. They pick off the peripheral players, and now they can start to make their way into the gooey center that is Lunatic High. Miro had his shield up. Good little wall coming up here. But Lunatic High still need to contest this point. They may, in fact, even back it away. They've got someone in the back lines here. I actually think it might be Litajin. We can't really see him for the moment here. He's not in position. That's Toby staying on the payload the whole time. Kept it contested. He's put to sleep and then should be damaged down. He survives somehow. He backs away. But still, Zim and Tank, you're going to take down Ryuje Hong and Eska. Important pickoffs here, and now Dia wants to get the high ground. He's going to come down and let the Death Blossom go, but they know he's there. Still, it may not matter. He's going to spin his way to victory. Going to be a little bit of a breakdance here on the point. And now Lunatic High being chunked away and forced to back up.
Yeah, so even with Lunatic High pushing there at the end, they really didn't force much. I think Dean did use an Earthshatter because he's only at 5% on his ultimate, but they forced the Death Blossom to come out of Dia, so he's going to be a little bit more delayed when it comes into these next fights. And Miro already has the Graviton Surge ready to go. So this is going to be interesting to see if Vici can kind of pair this up with. They have no real offensive ultimates to use, and Dia actually got taken extremely low. I'm not sure who exactly that was by.
Graviton coming in for Miro here as well. Lunatic High willing to waste no time. They take a lot of damage at the very beginning of the fight here, and now mutual sound barriers are coming out. Dia with a bit of freedom, looking for Litajin, needs to shut it down, but he can't quite get to him. The Death Blossom doesn't quite take Dia, but Litajin gets on towards Tanku and XPG, and that's going to be enough right now for Lunatic High to clean up. Again, Dia's left in a position where he's not the object of focus, and sure, he survives, but he's got no teammates to work with, and a Reaper, without any distraction, is just a dead man.
And Dia should have been able to actually, well, I was going to say he should have been able to, he could have killed him there. The problem is Litajin was able to pick up those 2 kills and get the souls on the ground for an extra 50 to a total of 100 from the 2 players.
As well.
Yeah, it helps quite a bit there. So, honestly, not a bad engage out of Lunatic High, but then again, Zim, he has a Graviton Surge ready to go. Tanku's almost up to an Earthshatter, and XPG has his Blizzard ready to use yet again. That's a Graviton coming out from Vici Gaming. Keep it Miro in a position to hit towards the backline. Ryuje Hong falls, but so does Toby and Dean. A good fight being switched around here for Vici, and now they can pressure on towards Eska. Dia actually finds him now. One more to get, and it will be Litajin falling down. Vici making some progress here, but they've got 7 seconds left. It's going to be overtime, and Lunatic High, all they have to do is push the Chinese squad off the payload. Wall comes up, high ground control, but not going to be there for Yumu. He misses it. He still has an Nano Boost though, but he's not going to be as safe in this next fight. I mean, they have the Beyblade combo ready to go. The Death Blossom and the Nano Boost is perfectly timed to actually pop right in. The problem is he forces his Raid Form just to get away, so he get out of the Graviton Surge, and we haven't seen it pop just yet. It's driving towards the back and is able to do it. They still have 3 men left on the payload. Counter Nano Boost coming out of Litajin, who's just not able to do as much work as Diaz is able, but there's Death Blossom, who's just a little bit second later, picks up 4 kills, and Vici Gaming will not complete the map.
4 kills in 1 tick of Death Blossom. That is filthy. The Nano Boost coming in very, very strong, and there wasn't much Vici could do, especially Dia, when he saw Litajin coming towards him, spinning like crazy. The wall was a good decision, though. We saw the Graviton sort of be used earlier in that fight by Lunatic High. The Graviton coming out, you know, so the wall coming out sort of to boost them above the Graviton was a good move. It was a good idea. And still, Dia was able to respond to that by getting some damage done. We thought it would all be done and dusted. He got 2 kills, but then the answer came in the form of a Death Blossom with the Nano Boost from Lunatic High. They prevent Vici from finishing this map.
I think he'll still be pretty happy though for Vici. Considering Rogue finished in overtime and they were at this, I think about the same pace. They were in overtime for quite a long time as they're trying to push the payload through the Foundry. That's not a bad start. That's pretty much on par to what we've seen the Western teams be able to do against them. So honestly, not bad in general for them. It just comes down to how is their defense going to go. This man here, Eska, is going to be looking to, I guess, penetrate the back line. I don't know. He's been using Mei quite a bit here. I'm a little bit sad to not see him play in McCree, but maybe in the next map we'll see it. Yeah, I mean, not on this map. Maybe if we get to Nabani, we'll have it happen. Honestly, Lunatic not necessarily looking as strong as I would have expected them to with the amount of time they've had to prepare.
Yumu there as well, obviously pushed, well, sort of going over towards the Ana role in this map when obviously XPG's playing a bit more of an aggressive role. Interesting to see how it's a very flexible team, but I don't know, sometimes it can work against teams, sometimes they can maybe overdo it a little bit here. That's XPG on your screen. The man with the main for the most part. Lunatic High, I have to say their first point hold was very, very strong. It's often the curse of teams, you know, that hold the first point well, but also get wiped just as that first point is taken. Struggle to really establish themselves or set up on the street space. You can see the Vici to push them around a little bit there. Lunatic High have to be careful though, because this aggressive sort of style is not dissimilar to some Chinese teams. Maybe it's a little bit further on the aggressive spectrum, but you know, Chinese teams can still capitalize on that and they can still thrive in those situations. So now Vici need to put up a stone wall. I would tend to say they probably want to try and go for a first point hold here, but that's not going to be an easy task.
Not at all. Not at all here, especially against a team like Lunatic High who's already been able to move up into the cinema, running that Roadhog to take down that shield as quick as they possibly can. And Eska already popping the wall to the right side to prevent any sort of engagement from that direction, trying to channel them and focus them into a tight area.
It's a decent wall though coming out from the side of Vici, but Eska's still able to get around it and find Tank You. Both Reinhardt to trade it out. He's looking for Yumu now as well. He's proving to be a little bit slippery there. Eagle actually boots Eska away. He can't get on towards him, but Miro getting double kills there as well. Nicely done by him. Reminds me of Internet Hulk on Zaya on this part of the map. Very aggressive, very proactive, and also, well, a spike towards the head from Eska is going to help things in a big way. This should be the first point taken comfortably enough here by Lunatic High. Vici don't really have the leverage to try and contest.
But Eagle, you saw what he did, right? He jumped in front of Yumu to eat the ice spike out of Eska, so Yumu would not die, but unluckily for him, the rest of his team had already fallen at that rate, and there was no chance for them to come back from it, but still, really smart individual play out of this guy.
Yeah, the problem is that Eska was occupying potentially two members of the backline there as well. It was a good boot. He actually booped Eska away from Yumu, which gave him a little bit of extra time to live, but the problem is the damage dealers from Lunatic High were too strong for Vici ultimately there, and XPG and Dia fell too early in those fights.
Now Eska with Blizzard. It's going to be really hard, I think, for Vici to contest this because they have one ultimate ready to go. Finally get the Groucho Surge as well, but they're trying to cut them off with the help of the Groucho Surge and the Blizzard. Going to pull two people forward. Dia towards the back and again, but he has Death Bombs and he's going to pop it down. And with the Earth Shatter following up, Vici Gaming will put up a fantastic hold.
It's a fantastic hold, Jason, but there was a lot of ultimates committed to that fight from Vici Gaming, and I mean a lot. So the Graviton Surge come in to start things off here, but Dia's able to at least respond. So as it stands, Lunatic High have 3 ultimates, Vici have none. Maybe 1 here from Eagle.
Yeah, 5 ults in that last fight with the Blizzard, Earth Shatter, Death Blast, Nano Boost, and Graviton.
Everything they need.
Really rough for Vici, and yeah, I mean that's a net win technically for Lunatic High because of the ult advantage they do now have.
When you know how much time you have as well.
Exactly. And Letition is going to be popping his whole hog with the help of the Nano Boost, just tearing through the backlines, takes down Yumu, takes down XPG, gonna even get the hook in just to really put the pain on. And Vici are going to drop 1 by 1. There's just no chance they can hold this.
I mean, the fact as well, Letition on his own is able to occupy the entire tank line of Vici Gaming. Tank You and Zim were busy trying to deal with that Roadhog while the rest of the threats on Lunatic High, which there are many, Eska, of course, and Miro able to just burn through Vici Gaming there. Now, Lunatic High, to be fair, did burn through all of those ults, but this is fine because they know how much time they have. They could have a lot of time here. Eska falls though, long range. I think he pushed ahead to try and catch on towards XPG and fell ultimately. And now Vici Gaming are going to try and take control of this. They got a 65, so they're going to push forward, even though Lunatic High are pushing so close. And this is going to force Lunatic High back. So you can see both these teams respect and recognize that player advantage or the man advantage here. Lunatic High know losing Esther is going to cost them some time.
And Vici, I don't know, I feel like they could have actually gotten a little bit more aggressive in terms of position, in terms of this high ground, especially Dia, who can flank around towards the back. Doesn't have Death Blossom up, obviously, but this little area right here is really perfect for Mei, because your Ice Wall pretty much covers off the entire this one. He counters basically the Groucho Surge coming through, possibly on top of himself to make sure they can't do much about this to really follow up, but the damage is starting. Look at the Blizzard coming through. Dia's going to have a field day to clean this one up, but Vici have already lost 3 men.
It's too late again. It's always too late for Dia. By the time he actually gets rolling, the rest of his team is missing. Tank You and XPG have already fallen down, and Dia again. This has just been the story of the game for him. The only time he can really get activated and start fighting is when he's lost his front line and even some of his back. He gets taken down there. Lunatic going to be the man to finish him off with a bionic grenade. Now they're just going to catch on towards Eagle, keep him alive a little bit longer here. This means that Vici don't even get a speed boost out of Spawn to try and contest this one. They won't have him there with that AoE healing for a while. They've got to give this point up completely.
And not to mention with Lunatic having 4 ultimates, they can transition this push into the end, into the nail in the coffin, into actually picking up this first map. Even have Lutation getting really close to his whole hog. If he gets nano boost and pops the whole hog down, what does Vici have to stop it? You have a sleep dart or potentially a freeze. And the freeze is not going to work because you can be knocked away. But that Earth Shatter coming through is doing some work. Graviton Surge yet again, forcing Dia just to Wraith form back up. But the Death Blossom is ready to go. He's waiting for the Cyber to tick away. And he's looking for some kills. Finally able to chime in with the help of his teammates. And they will hold Lunatic High back.
Yeah, a better fight there. And Lunatic High have used a lot of ults themselves. We saw Toby have to use his. Rujay Hong used his in that fight as well. Dia, it was actually a direct response to Dia. I remember I see Miro using that Graviton Surge, fearing the fact that Dia would get up close and actually get himself a nano boost. There wasn't one available for Yumu there as well, but Dia can imply that there is going to be a nano boost forthcoming by having extra aggressive positioning there. That forced out the Graviton. I mean, Vici actually have that nano boost now to rely on in this next fight, and a Blizzard.
And credit to Dia actually to deal with, the sleep dart on the back and the nano boost. Are they going to have anything to burst him that time? Did the charge just missed it? Zine somehow missed that?
I don't know, but either way, it was going to be Dia pretty much cut out of that fight there. He's way towards the back, and now the wall comes up in his face. That's metaphorical and literally in this case. Dia gets hooked in now. Graviton Surge is going to come out on the side of Lunatic. Going to suck them all together. Another sleep dart coming in. Dia can't get it done. Every time he tries to make a play, he's either shut down, he loses teammates, or he's directly counted out with something like a sleep dart. Lunatic are going to win that fight as well.
He had to be moved off. I don't see a way that Dean was going to miss out on this one. Dia, though, last second, switching over to a Bastion to deal with this. He's going to try to put up a good defense because they know the distance is all that has to be passed.
Well, Graviton Surge is going to come in now. Rujay Hong actually gets a sleep dart. Tankyu is going to fall pretty comfortably now. The nano boost comes in, but there's a Bastion in the way. Dean needs to know that. He gets up close, uses his shield, and now he's tanky enough to maybe get the rest of the damage done, but they're not even focusing towards Dia. Oh, it's the wall. He's stuck in there. He's got no teammates to help him out either. Lutation and Dean is going to get the charge on in. Dia couldn't see his peripherals, didn't know what was going to be happening there. The sleep dart again. Beautiful stuff. Maybe prematurely switching over towards these guys, but a strong finish there from Lunatic High. You've got to be happy with that one. And the Taijuk's positioning on that Ana to sleep dart Dia as he dropped off on that Reaper was incredibly smart. Good foresight, and it completely shut down the ult advantage that was in the favor of Vici at that point in the game.
And him even doing it on the Tankyu actually towards he had to take the shield down so they could follow it up with everything. Pop a biotic grenade on top of that too. Honestly, well done, but you have to give a lot of credit to Vici. They put up a really good defense in the Foundry phase. It just came down to that one fight where they got cut off guard a little bit, and with Dia getting slept 2 times in a fight, you can't really predict something like that happening.
It's just insane and very frustrating for him, I'm sure, because a lot of